Hello everyone, hello. Happy Wednesday, friends, happy Wednesday. We're back with another little group live stream, and today's topic is something that's very relevant. I think that we all are probably going to be connecting to this one. What is fear? What is fear, and what does fear do to us? And how can you actually find a way to not let the fear control you? So let's start with this, all right? I work with a lot of women who live their life where the fear is controlling them. And usually the fear is also what's holding them back on taking that step into going a little bit deeper into understanding themselves, because they're scared of what's gonna come up. They're scared of what's going to come up when they actually do that deep dive and unlock all of that hidden potential that is inside of them. They're scared that it's going to change their lives in that way, that they're going to either free themselves from someone, something, more than one person, whatever it is, right? Or in some cases, when it comes to childhood trauma or teenage trauma or life trauma, they're scared that they're going to relive that trauma by diving deeper and going deeper into understanding themselves. So fear is basically something that is imprinted on us. It's like a printing machine, right? You have the printing machine, like think of those old school printing machines, right? Where you have to do like this, right? To get something printed. So it's an imprint on our psyche, all right? It's an imprint on our psyche that was created during an impressionable moment in time. What does that mean? It means that at a certain time in your life, you went through something that created that fear. All fears are a reaction to something that you believe in is true, whether it's true from something that you've encountered. Let's say, for example, that you have a fear of spiders, right? Because that's kind of common, the fear of spiders, and it becomes like a phobia. And you're like, no way, am I gonna travel to Australia because they have like the largest spiders, and that fear just holds you back from traveling to Australia and seeing this amazing country for yourself. And I can say this because I love Australia so much. But anyway, this fear keeps holding you back, right? Now, this is a very kind example. Now, when it comes to other fears that hold us back in our life, we can again see the symbolism in them, right? For example, maybe claustrophobia. If you have a phobia when it comes to being in small spaces, that can be a symbolism of you being scared of expanding. Whether it's you expanding yourself, expanding your consciousness, expanding your life, whatever that is. So looking at those examples of claustrophobia or spiders, maybe they were created during you getting stuck in an elevator, right? Now, again, this is just a kind example just for you to understand how fears are created and how fears actually can control us if we allow them to. So a lot of people, like for example, the not traveling to Australia or not wanting to go into closed spaces, that's something that's holding that person back, right? That person has chosen that, okay, I'm never gonna be part of that again. I never wanna see a huge yucky spider again. I never wanna be stuck in an elevator again. So they try to stay out of that elevator, right? Or trying to go into small spaces because they're scared of reliving, yes, the exact same imprint, the exact same definition, the exact same feeling. Now, that was a very kind example, but let's go deeper. How about we have a person that is so scared of putting herself in the position of dating ever again because she got so hurt in her last relationship. So that fear of getting hurt again is holding her back from experiencing a new relationship that, who knows, that may be the relationship of a lifetime. Maybe that's your soul partner, your life partner. Again, this is just an example. Maybe it's related to you or not related to you. Just see the examples of what I'm trying to say right here. So fears are imprints instilled by us through a moment in time, right? Where we got to experience something so deeply that we never want to experience that again. And by choosing not to go through that same imprint, that same example, that same definition, you choose to keep yourself stuck in life. And now you're thinking, well, it's not so bad not wanting to see a big spider again, right? Again, that's a choice that we're making. But when it comes to choosing not to go into a new relationship, not to date, not to go into talking in front of other people because you thought it was a scary thing when you were a kid, right? Or Arkady asked me this morning, because we were talking about this, I'm like, oh, today I'm going to talk about fear. And he said, so what is your fear? And I'm like, actually my fear, I have two. My fear is that I'm going to be left alone, because I'm scared of being completely alone, that I'm not independent enough to live my life completely without another person, because I never feel fulfilled inside of myself. And this is something that I've been working on in my entire life. And mind you, when Arkady came into my life, I had already decided that I'm never gonna love again, right? So again, for me, I got so hurt in my past relationship that I had chosen that I'm never going to put myself in that relationship. So man, oh man, did Arkady had to, really fight to get into my heart, because I had really closed my heart to the opportunity of allowing love in again. But when I actually did, he ended up being the love of my life. And whether that's going to be true in 1 year's time or 2 years' time, it doesn't matter. Right now, I am living with a partner of my dreams, with a partner that understands me. So, what does all of this mean? Because we're not going to talk about my relationship right now. Limiting beliefs can be something that is linked to a fear that you have created in your life. And whether you have created it from an external experience, again, something happening to you, someone hurting you, right? Or you were in a car accident and so on, that still becomes a limiting belief. I'm never gonna get into a car ever again in my entire life, right? That's something that is holding you back. So, what is a fear actually? Okay, we understand now what the fear is, but what is the purpose of the fear? Now, are you ready? What is the purpose of the fear? The fear is a messenger. It's a messenger that's trying to bring you out of you being unbalanced. So the fear is coming and knocking on your door, saying, knock, knock. And you're like, no, I'm not going to open that door. I don't want to hear what the fear has to say. You're like completely pushing yourself out of that. But what the fear wants you to understand, that you're not living in alignment with who you truly are by keeping yourself stuck, by hiding. You're not allowing for growth to happen in your life, right? So the purpose is there. Like I needed to write this down. I had this moment of inspiration this moment. The purpose of it is to tell you that you have a belief that is not aligned with who you are, so you can react to it. You can review it. You can relive it in order to see that, hey, actually it wasn't that bad. And actually I can be in control of this, so you can transform it. When it's like a piano that is not tuned, that is in auto tune, right? Whenever you play a key on the piano that is not tuned, it's gonna sound very weird, right? That something is not aligned, something doesn't resonate, right? So with this said, when you tune that piano, you're gonna allow yourself to transform that piece of music into joy. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about your life. I'm not talking about the piano. I'm talking about you are the instrument, my friend. And maybe you are out of tune. Maybe you are in misalignment. And the fear is just there for you to remind you that, hey, something is not right here. And guess what? If you keep ignoring that fear, the fear doesn't understand that you're ignoring it, because the fear is a messenger. It's there to do its job, to tell you that, girl, you're not living your purpose right now. You're not living your true potential, and you're so misaligned right now. I am here to tell you that you need to face me. Here is the message. Here is what I want you to learn. So you can transform yourself, and that you can come into alignment again, that you can come into balance again. But when you keep ignoring that fear, guess what it's gonna do? It's gonna just come back and knock on your door harder. And then it's gonna come back like that big bad wolf, you know, in those fairy tales, and it's gonna huff and puff. And it's just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger until it's big enough for you to listen. And that's the fear. That is what the fear is there. The fear is there that it will allow you to transform in a really fast way when you open your ears and actually listen to it. Because right now what you're doing by ignoring the fear, you're keeping yourself stuck in a negative vibration, in a negative sense. You're basically trying to convince yourself that all is good as long as I don't need to go into that fear, right? So remember that the fear is keeping you stuck. And when you're stuck, you're keeping yourself from propelling forward in your life to grow. So use the fear to your benefit. Have you ever heard about these athletes that are so scared of failing, and when they finally face their fears, they become like Olympic medalists? And I'm going to give you another example here. And this is, I heard this example this morning when I was listening to my inspirational podcasts. We all have them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I never thought about it like that. And then I got inspired to talk about this with you. Do you have nightmares? Yeah, you probably do, right? Are you lucky enough to remember your dreams? And I guess we all have nightmares. Either you remember them or don't remember them. We all have the nightmares. And the nightmares usually have like a bad vibration, like a bad energy. And it's very uncomfortable, especially if we wake up from that dream, right? And we're stuck in that energy, and we're like, oof, I just want to get it out of my way. But have you ever thought about that nightmare might actually be your fear coming knocking at your door when you are sleeping, and your subconscious mind is very open to impressions? Because you are sleeping, but your mind is so active while you are sleeping. That's the thing. Your mind never rests. And the mind is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So nightmares are basically for us to get on that mare, which is an old word for horse. Yes, old English word for horse, night horse. To ride that horse, so it becomes like a Pegasus, a winged horse. so you can soar. Isn't that awesome? I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never thought about it like that, but it's true. So next time you have a dream, a nightmare, allow yourself to discover what is the message in this nightmare. What is the fear that's coming and knocking on your door? What is it trying to tell you? What is holding you back in your life that is keeping you in misalignment, that you need to attune again, so you are that perfectly tuned instrument of life that creates so much joy. So next time you have a nightmare, write it. Write it, find out what it's telling you, and it will transport you and allow you to soar into the clouds. Basically, it's like a freeing experience, right? So remember, fear is a messenger. Fear is a messenger to tell you that you have a belief system that is out of alignment with you. It's like a barometer. I'm giving you a lot of metaphors, right? The fear is a barometer telling you all of this. So fear doesn't hang around, right, just for the fun of it. It's there because it wants you to listen. It wants you to tap in, and it wants to help you to be your fullest you, to unlock your fullest potential. And if you don't listen to it, it will come back so much stronger. So you need to listen to it, right? See fear as a messenger of information. It's there for you to listen to something, right? So make a friend out of fear, yeah, and allow it to do its job. That's the thing. Allow it to do its job, and don't allow it to grow into monster, because then it's going to come back and bite you 10 times more in the tushy. So pay attention to the fear much sooner. I'm going to be honest with you. I wish there's a time and place for everything, and there's a purpose for everything in life. But I wish that I would have paid attention to my fear of being left alone and not being able to handle my life on my own much, much sooner. Then I wouldn't have been left in that marriage with that relationship that was 20 years, that was breaking me apart and making me into something that I am not, that was trying to make me smaller than what I actually was, that was ignoring my heart, that was ignoring my words, that was ignoring my feelings. If I had listened to my fear and understood my fear, what the message of that fear, being left alone, I would have got out of that marriage a long time ago. But no, it took me 20 years. And this is why I created my method, and this is why I created this community, because I want to share with all the women out there that you don't have to allow the fear to control you. Allow the fear to be the messenger. Tune into it, listen to it, so you can set yourself free. Because that is all it wants for you to do, to set yourself free. You don't have to be dependent on something that is feeling you less worthy, because you have a lot of love and a lot of self-worth inside of you. You just have to relearn your habits, relearn what makes you you, without putting your whole identity into an external factor. Whether it's a person, whether it's a family, whether it's a house, whether it's a Gucci bag, just an example. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to have a Gucci bag, but just an example. Where are you placing your entire identity? And why are you scared of just being you? All right, I'm gonna end it there today, friends. I hope that this gave you some inspiration to become friends with your fear. If you have any questions, if you don't agree with me, you can write it in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Let me know what you want me to talk about next week, and I'll be back with some more of my crazy inspiration. Love you, ladies. Take care. Big kisses. Bye.